Alright, welcome. We're going to do another interesting build today. We're going to be working with these LCD displays. LCD stands for liquid crystal display. It'll allow us to put information on this screen here that we normally would use for the serial monitor. So instead of sending it to the serial monitor, we can put it on here, and this will make our projects, some of our projects, allow us to untether ourselves from the computer and we can be mobile. So I think this will be an exciting build. The hard part is probably all the wiring. There's like 16 pins on the back of this. Luckily each of them is labeled, and I've got a diagram we're going to follow. So it should be pretty straightforward. We'll do that together, of course. Today little piggy here is going to give us a little energy boost. Nice, so let's get started. Flip views over here. So this is obviously in Canvas. And if you look at the top row, you can see the little numbers and letters I was talking about. Of course, when you look at the LCD, you can see them across here. They're pretty tiny. You can't see them in my camera view very well, but when you have it up next to your face, you should be able to see them. On one side it has a 16, the other side has a 1. That'll help you orient yourself. And then on the one side it has a and K over here, and over here has VSS and VDD. So we're going to start off by, actually let's talk about all the parts you need first. We'll need this part, of course, but there's other two parts we need. We got to have a 220 ohm resistor, and I'm going to use this potentiometer. The potentiometer we're going to use to control the brightness of our LCD monitor or display. Now I've got this little blue one here. In your kits there is a one with a little black knob, but I can't find that one, so I'm just going to use this one. They all work the same. And I'm going to start with, let's put the LCD display in place. I think I'll just press it up here, or use these top rows and press it in like that. So go ahead and do that. That way, as I'm wiring this, all I have to do is stick pins in the front. I'll have some choices here. I can pick any one of these. So if I am starting off with the VSS over here, I can just pick that pin, for example, and then put it wherever it needs to go. So that should work out nicely. Over here off to the side, I'm going to put my potentiometer in here. And we've used these before. I'm going to get it partially set up. You need to move it backwards just a little bit. So this will control the screen brightness. I'm going to put my favorite yellow signal wire here. Just going to let dangle like that. Our potentiometers, they need two things. They need a little juice. So we'll hook. I'm going to use the blue rail down here and the red rail. We'll make the red going to my 5 volts, and we'll make the blue going to ground. I'm going to hook them up last though, just so they're not in the way. I need one side, let's go back to potentiometer, I need one side going to positive. Doesn't matter which. I'm going to swing these maybe right there. I don't have any black wires, I have a lot of red. Since it doesn't matter which one goes where, I am going to use red for both. So I've got this one going to ground, so the other one's got to go to the 5 volts. Like I said, I'll hook these up to the Arduino a little later. Okay, so I'm going to push this out of the way like that. Now comes the interesting part. We're going to work our way across. I'm basically going to follow this diagram here. I'll start with, I should flip this thing upside down. If I flip it upside down like this, then I'll have, on this side I'll have K, and that'll match what I'm seeing on the screen, this K right here. So on, basically what I'm saying is on the right side, right over here is K, and then as I move over, the VSS is over here, and that exactly matches what I've got on my diagram, so I'm not doing things backwards. So let's start with the K. We're going to start over here, and we're just going to follow along, go through this diagram step by step. We've got a black wire. Doesn't matter what the colors we use, but the K needs to go to ground, so I don't have any black wires as it is. I gotta make sure I go into K. So that looks like K. Double check, get my glasses off. I'm nearsighted, so I see better without them. Yep, we're in K. Now I won't have to look because I'll just go right next to it. And I'm going to make the blue rail ground so I can stick it anywhere in that row. And let's move on to the next one. I'm going to use the 220 ohm resistor it's asking for. So I've got that. You're going to grab a multimeter to make sure you got the right size. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to press one leg into here and reach the other one all the way over to the positive. I'm not going to use any wires other than the resistor. Just going to reach across like that. That looks pretty good. I'm going to kind of push it out of the way a little bit as I go. Next one. We should be at, what does that say? D7? Yeah, D7, we're going to use pin 2. So now I got to swing the Arduino back in here. 2 is going to be way down here at the bottom. Make sure it's in 2 and not 1. That looks pretty good. Now I could pick any pin I wanted. It doesn't have to be in 2. I could pick any of these digital pins. But since our diagram is asking for these, has already selected for us these pins, we're just going to go ahead and use the same ones. There's nothing special about pin 2. And when we do some programming, this will help remind us what pins we use. We'll just look at the diagram instead of trying to peek down here and try to remember which one is which. So if we just follow this, we'll remember which pin we used for where. Hope that makes sense. Alright, so moving along here to the next one. D6, I guess, is the one we're on. That's supposed to go to pin 3. Next one goes to pin 4, then pin 5. So nice and easy here. We're just going to keep going across like that. And let's pick an orange. And there we go. So I worked my way, and we've got 6 wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of which is the resistor. So that looks pretty good. Now we're at the gap. So we've got to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and go to the E. So I got to be very careful, make sure I'm in the E. So I'm going to take my glasses off again so I can peek at this. There we go. I'm in E. That looks good. I've got to reach over and put that in pin 11. That looks like 11. I'm going to double check. Or did I put that in 10? That is in 11. So we're good. We got another ground pin. So the next pin we're going to send over to our ground, which is the blue rail right here. Just anywhere will work. Next one over is, alright, so this one is, nope, I'm sorry, I skipped one. We got to go to the pin 12. That is, looks like, what does that even say? RS? I think it says RS. No, yeah, RS is the one where I'm on. And that one goes to pin 12. Okay, reach over there. We just did pin 11, now we're in pin 12. Now we get to this cute little signal wire from our potentiometer. We're going to send that to the next ones. We got to reach around somehow, get that one in there. And then the next two should be pretty easy. We're going to go to 5 volts. 5 volts is this rail again. I'm going to sneak and grab the one in the corner there. Doesn't matter which one I use, we're just going to grab the one in the corner. And last but not least, the VSS, we're going to send that to ground. So we've got a little spot, little spot in the corner there. And there it is. Alright, so that is a bird's nest of wires. and cross our fingers, a little finger cross there. We didn't make any mistakes. Just take it nice and slow and easy. Just work your way across. Use this heavily, rely on this diagram when wiring this, and you should be just fine. Alright, let's go and do some coding. Oh, before I forget, I almost forgot. This would have been disastrous. What did I forget? I forgot to put the, I've got the rail for positive and negative, but I didn't actually connect those to my Arduino, so I got to go back and actually make this rail 5 volts. I got to sneak over here and put in, where's the 5 volts? Alright, eyeballs, help me out here. There we go, 5 volts. And I need to do the same thing for ground. So we'll reach over here and send one to ground. Alright. Let that kind of dangle on an angle. Dangle on an angle, alright. Let's pull up some programming. IDE, and let's shrink this over. I still want to be able to see it. I would like it to have it off to the side or somehow. Not sure quite how I'll do this because I need to know what these pins are. So just for now, let's just put it way down there, and I'll try to be really careful that I'm not blocking the view, so to speak. Let's punch that out, and let's punch this out of here. Okay, so this LCD, like other complicated parts that we use, like the DHT temperature humidity sensor, they've got some chips in there that are going to help us out if we grab a library, and they'll do some of the heavy lifting for us. So let's go ahead and put a library in here. Down to include library. This one should already be installed. We should not have to look this one up. It's called the Liquid Crystal, and there it is. Just appears like that. If for some weird reason it's not there, I mean, this is like a 95% probability it should be there. We'd have to go to Manage Libraries. We'll just show you how that works again, and we have to type in as soon as it is happy here. We'll take a little piggy break here. Alright, it's ready. Let's type in Liquid Crystal, spell right, enter, and there we go. Which one would it be? These are, this one is probably, it's a different version. Sorry, there are several here. I'd guess and say it was this one, but it's not saying I've already installed it, but I didn't have to install it, so that's throwing me off just a little bit. But it's probably this one right here. But I'm going to assume that it's already installed. What I mean by installed is that when you go to include library, it's in this list at the it's in this list at the top right here. There's some that they're already included libraries, and then you've got some that you've added. I've added quite a few. They'll be down here. So I think you're going to be okay finding that. Alright, so let's continue this. Now there's some simple commands. We have to turn this thing on. So we're going to say begin. And I have to tell it which LCD display I'm using. They come in quite a different varieties, the size of the screens. Slim this over a little bit. This is a 16 across by 2. So 2 wide and 16 across. The characters we can put on here, but you can get them, a lot bigger or smaller. So we have to tell. Ours is a 16 by 2. So it knows which one we're using. And then we're going to jump down, and there's a couple of simple commands. I think they're quite simple. We're going to tell it. We've got some choices on here where we want to start our information at. If we do nothing, it should appear up in the corner. But I want to show you the commands for where we want to put things. It's called LCD, set cursor, and I want to tell it to go up in the upper right corner, which, am I upside down? I guess it'd be this corner over here, because I flipped this thing around in order to make the wiring a little easier. So I think it'll appear in this little box right over in the corner. Like I said, if I don't put anything down, if I don't set the cursor, it'll default over here. But I want to control this as I type something in, which should be what? Let's do LCD print. Now, I remember last time we did serial print. If we sent it to the monitor, we would have to, up here, we have to say serial begin, and then put in our baud rate. So this is very similar. We're not going to use the serial monitor at all. So it's just a little different because we're using LCD instead of serial. But the same idea is there. We're going to use LCD print. And let's have it say something. How about, well, let's start off little pig. For our little pig friend today. Bam. Keep me company here while I do this. And let's just be really simple with this. Let's just have it appear for, well, actually we can probably just do this, and it'll just keep going through this loop again and again and again. And this should be all we need to have it appear. We can be fancy in a minute. Let's just plug this in. I don't want to go into the code too much. We might have an error with our wiring. I have to plug this in. The computer there we go. Let's see if I can get the display like that so you can see it. And let's look at tools. Actually, you know what? I just made a big mistake. Actually, no mistake. I skipped a line here. No worries, I haven't started yet. I just was looking over here and reminding myself the pins. This caution of we have to remember the pins, and then I realized I did not enter a line that tells our library which pin is which. So when we wired these up to our Arduino, I used certain pins based upon this diagram. So now I have to tell our program what pins we just used. So we have to go back and do that. No worries, right? Liquid, that's a Q and not a G. And liquid crystal, little space. And we're going to work our way across from, let's see, I'm going to make sure I do this correctly. Yeah, we're going to work our way from the very first one we need to enter is RS, which is pin 12, and then we're going to add pin 11 and then pin 5 and so on. So this should be very straightforward. So pin 12, then pin 11. Basically, we're telling us we have a parameter for each of these pins. Each of these pins, pin 2, 3, and 4, and so on, is one of the parameters in this statement. I just got to make sure I enter the first one in the right parameter. So I needed to have, you don't need to worry about this so much. I need to make sure RS is the first parameter as pin 12, and then we work our way across. I forgot, we did a little skip. 11, then we jump to 5. Alright, so we go to 5, then 4, then 3, then 2. I think the 2 is the last one. Alright, now it knows which pins we selected on the Arduino. We can push that aside there. Now let's give it a try. We got COM21, it's selected, it's got the right board, that looks good. Let's do a quick upload. I'm not going to worry about saving it. You probably should give it a name so you can find it later. Just waiting here. Need to get this out of the way. I don't think we need any more. Come on. You can do it. Minimize. There we go. Do a little compiling here. Pretty amazing what we can do with just this few lines of code. That's what always impresses me. Because my background is not coding, it's physics. My son does. He's going to computer science, and he shows me his work, and he'll have hundreds of lines of code to do something. Alright, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines of code. I was tempted to go right over here. My hand wanted to go over the serial monitor and click on it so I could look. But I don't have to do that. I should be able to look right down here and see what's going on. But I see nothing. So let's go over here and, no, my hand's in the way when I do that. I'm going to grab the potentiometer and adjust it. Give it a little twist. No, there we go. Now it appears. See, before we couldn't see it. I needed to get a little more juice into this LCD. So that's the function of our potentiometer, making it brighter. I got a bit of glare there. But let me see if I can prop this up. Oh, nice. I got some little gum here. Yeah. There we go. That'll work. Upside down, but no glare. We'll take it. It says little piggy. No, it says little pig, and it's starting up in that upper left corner. So now you can see where you couldn't see before what I meant by 16 by 2. I have 2 rows here, and we got 16 little boxes going across, and we just used up a few of them there. So if I wanted to move it over, let's just do some little quick experiments here. If I wanted to move over, say have it be in the middle, the first number is moving it left and right. So let's do a combo here. Let's move it over like 6, and then let's move it down 1, and then try that. So it should move this over 6 and have it be pushed down 1 line. Hypothetically, theoretically, okay. And here we go. Uploading, done uploading. Oh, it did push it down, but it pushed it down not exactly center. I was just guessing though, but it did go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I probably should have pushed it if I wanted exact center, maybe 3 over. If I did 3 over, then it would have been perfect. So I'm going to just switch that for whatever reason. Let's play around a little more. Now we're at the play around stage. Everything we do now will just be just some variety on this screen here. Let's say I wanted something to appear on the top, disappear, and then I wanted something else to appear on the bottom row. Let's leave what we have. What we need to do though, we got to be a little careful here. Let's have it stay up there for, the little pig is going to stay there for 2 seconds. I need something to get rid of it. So what do you think we're going to use? LCD, get rid of it. No, that's not going to work. Delete. No, that's not going to work either, right? There's got to be something we say it's actually clear. So we're going to clear it out. Nice. And then we can put in something new. Let's give a little space here. Go down. Actually, let's gobble up some of this space above. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we cleared everything, and now we're going to, let's set the cursor, and let's move it to the top row. How about, like, let's do 3 over again, and top row, and let's have it print. You're welcome to have it print whatever you like. I need a little dot there. Changes colors. Let's have it print happy. Let's have it do that for I don't know, 1 second. And should we have it just stay there? Oh, if I have it just stay there, I don't need the delay. So let's just get rid of it. We'll get rid of it, and then we'll have it say something else. Let's have it jump to the bottom line, but still be bumped over. Now, the words happy are smaller than little pig. So if I really want it to be in the center, I may need to have it be like 4 over or 5. The next word I want to use, put on the bottom row, it's going to be a longer word. We're going to have it say, notice I'm using parentheses. We're going to have it say Halloween, Happy Halloween. Let's do another delay and clear that out. Bam. Okay. So that looks pretty good. We're just going to say little pig. Hopefully in the bottom row, 3 over. So kind of center. It's going to wait 2 seconds. It's going to wipe that out. It's going to use the top row, 4 over. It's going to say happy. I'm going to wait a second. It's going to wipe that out. I'm going to go to the bottom row, and then 2 spaces over, say Halloween, and then it's going to wipe that out. And then it's going to go back to little pig, which is fine. Let's just try this out. We've got quite a bit on here now. So we need to pause and let our little experiment run here. Got a minute to squeeze the pig. Uploading. Done uploading. All right, little pig centered. Happy Halloween. Little pig. Happy Halloween. Little pig. Nice. Did I center it very well? No. But whatever. I should have done the push the Halloween over, maybe 1 or 2, and maybe like, yeah, probably 1 over each. What else can we have this do? Of course, we can use numbers instead of words. Let's, just for giggles, do one more thing and we'll call it good. How about we have it count? We can make this be like a little stopwatch or something. So after, we'll leave this display on here. Or maybe we could modify it to pretend like it's a calculator, or excuse me, a stopwatch. But let's put in a little think about it. I'm thinking in, let's get the counting part done first. Let's do a little for loop. Let's say x is going to start out as being, if we start out our x's as counting at 1 or at 0. Let's have it start out counting off starting with 0. And then I want it to be positive, a true statement for, let's go up to 10 seconds. We'll just have it count up to 10. So once this is shown to be false, then it jumps out of our for loop. One more statement, we have to ratchet the x values up slowly, 1 at a time. Oh, we don't want the semicolon, we have to put a little. Now we want it to do something. Probably need to wipe out all the previous stuff. That actually, we don't need to worry about that because this will wipe out, the previous line will wipe out all the stuff we just did with the little pig. So now we just need to print the x, and we want it to count. If we don't put a little delay in here, it'll just immediately run through the numbers super fast. We won't even be able to read the numbers probably. So it's going to print out the x's, wait a second, and go back up here, add 1 to it, print it out again, add 1 to it, so on until we get to 10, then it'll be false. Actually, I wanted to go include 10, so let's jump that to 11. And probably, okay, let's do a little experiment. Let's leave out the set cursor, and let's see if it defaults up into the corner here. So you can see, you want to take my word for it. Upload this, and then maybe we'll take one more moment and clean it up a little bit. I mean, we could have this be our calculator. Well, we could. There's somebody. The next project. Whoa, hold on a minute. Talking, and I've got an error. Let's go to the error. What did I do wrong? We've got a capital X here. Let's upload again. I didn't notice that. No worries. Anyway, what I was saying is lots of projects we're going to incorporate the LCD screen with. I think we'll go back and combine the DHT sensor with the LCD. That would be something cool to do. Good stuff we've already done. All right, done on uploading. Is he happy? Okay. Whoa, hold a minute. Well, it did put the first one in the corner, like I said, but then it's shoving all the rest. It's doing like a little shift register here, and it's not clearing until it jumped, so it didn't clear. I forgot a few things here. It's just pushing them over. That's kind of cool, though. We would have seen that if I didn't clear things out. So if I wanted it just to stay here in the corner, I'd have to clear out the previous number. So now it's here, it's just stacking them, doing a little, not stacking, doing a little shift register, pushing things over. And then it goes back to a little pig. It's just doing what we told it to do. I always complain to my computer here, you know, why don't you do what I want you to do and quit doing what I tell you to do? It's doing what I wanted to do. And let's clean this up a little bit. Let's it's going in the right corner, but we wanted to eliminate the previous number that was up there. So we need to do LCD clear every time. That'll just leave it up in the corner. I don't know if I like it in the corner. I'd rather have it be in the middle. Just my personal preference. Or a little bit indented. Let's do like 6. Let's do 7. And then let's put it on the top row. So we could also have it say next to it seconds or something. And we could change this around. Instead of saying little pig, we could say little counter, a little timer, or little pig timer. That might go off the edge though. Let's there's 16. I'm not going to count all these. Well, yeah, I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're going to lose a letter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, we'll be just perfect. So let's just go 0, 0. We'll say little pig timer. It'll wait 2 seconds. It'll jump down the first row again. We don't want to say happy. Let's have it say, are you ready? And we're not going to wait for an answer. Let's just have it then go down here and say, let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if I do a 1, that should look nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we leave it at 2, it'll probably be fine. Okay, so we made a bunch of changes. Let's take a look at that. And this is probably all we'll do. I mean, you're certainly welcome to toy around with it and encouraged to toy around with it. Customize all this. We could have added this to our hand washer and have a little message come up, a little buzzer and a little message with the countdown visible on the display. All right, little pig, are you ready? Let's start. 0, 1, 2, nice. That looks fabulous. Okay, I'm feeling good about that. So let's stop there, and we will see you again with another project soon.